And away we go.
All right. So, how you doing?
Great.
All right. So, what's in the news today?
Well, sent something in the chat quite recently. I'm not sure if Russ going to like this, although in the past he did. The polling numbers for Reform UK are rising in Scotland.
I feel like months ago he would have loved that, but now he doesn't like that. He
Nah,
probably wouldn't like that at
because
all.
nah, because Rupert Lowe and there's a fallout
Wait,
and whatever's going on.
you said, wait, what'd you say? Say that one more time.
I said I said Risk would not like that now because there's a fallout within the party between Farage and Rupert Lowe, and yeah, it's
How
just
long is that? Wait, how long has the Reform Party even been a thing?
it's at least a couple of years. The reason Reform started out as the Brexit Party, and the reason it existed is to get the United Kingdom out of the European Union, which they did achieve. So they renamed themselves to Reform.
Got you. But I'm not gonna lie. No matter what, I think even when there's a party that seems promising, they're eventually gonna fall in line one way or another.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's like, I kind of see it as like, obviously you would want to be a part of something that's different, but ultimately speaking, like, everyone is eventually either going to fall in line or get killed because they didn't fall in line. And the majority of them are so scared that they do end up falling in line because ultimately speaking, yeah, I mean they use scare tactics and they tend to work.
indeed.
Or if like yeah, or if like the leader doesn't fall in line, they're probably just going to try to replace that leader with another leader who will fall in line. It's a vicious cycle, but ultimately speaking, so
That's
how's it happen
life.
with her? Yeah, that's life. And on top of that, it's like you either eat or get eaten in this political game.
Yeah,
There are no friends there. There are really no friends. There are only foes, and if they are friends, they're acting they're acting like foes, like to so the people can kind of have something to either be entertained by or simply believe in and like think that they're on the right side of history. Shoot,
yeah,
I'm
very
not
true.
gonna. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. You really think Donald Trump and Obama really hate each other?
That's a good point.
Yeah. I mean, I know they were at a funeral, but it's like I don't know. It's like, do you really think that they actually hate each other, quote unquote? I mean, maybe before, but now they're on the same side, so it's like they really have no reason to hate one another. Although they're in different parties, they probably don't hate each other like that, or even at all to begin with.
Indeed.
But hey, it is what it is.
And it was what it was.
Exactly. Yeah. As for the Reform Party, though, yeah, Risk he's definitely not gonna like that.
No, but either way, they're still going to get more seats in the next general election.
I mean, yeah, because of course they're gonna get more seats. They did what they had to do.
And indeed
Whether
they did.
whether if you agree with it or not, they did what they had to do, and yeah, that's just that. It's whether if it's good or bad, or whether if it's unfortunate, they did what they had to do to get those seats. But yeah, is there anything else on the news?
DeepSeek AI cranks open the spigots on Chinese venture capital.
Sounds pretty interesting. Is there any like more information on that?
Yes, DeepSeek's AI development is changing China's venture capital landscape after 3 years of decline, with investment in China-based companies dropping to $48.86 billion in 2024.
Interesting. Wow. You said it was called DeepSeek, right?
DeepSeek, yes.
Deep Seek.
Yes.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. How many have we been? I feel like we've been talking about that a lot lately. Like,
Yeah. Like, even though we don't hear about DeepSeek, there are people that are still using DeepSeek over ChatGPT and other
oh yeah, most
chatbots.
definitely. Oh yeah, most definitely. I agree with you. Like, there are definitely like people who would use that over pretty much anything else. So I mean, hey, I mean, It's good that they're doing well. I guess. I mean, I don't use it, but I know other people use it, and I'm pretty sure other people are happy to like hear that. But hey, uh, I'd say like I hope they continue to do well, and I hope they continue to make more profit. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about it. What about you?
Well, whatever people choose, I can't argue with it. Whatever reasons they have, again, can't argue with that. Everyone is free and everyone's entitled to their own opinions. And however this goes down, technology is on the rise and is developing fast.
Yeah, for the most part, technology is definitely on the rise. I'll be honest, I think there's really only one AI that I use, and I mean it's called Lit. It's called what? Let me see what it's called. Liner, but I hardly use it. I really only use it for to research certain things that I don't really understand, or things that I don't believe Google can tell me. They probably get it from Google, so I mean, you know, the app pretty much just tells me things clearly. Is what I'm trying to say. Essentially.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah, it just tells me things a whole lot clearer. And for the most part, I will say this, for the most part, AI is helpful in many ways. Obviously, like there are certain people who are scared of it, and there are certain people who are embracing it. There are certain people who are kind of in the middle about it. But ultimately speaking, people are like kind of, they're seeing it, is what I'm trying to say. They're seeing it in action, whether they accept it or not, or whether they're just completely mutual.
indeed.
Yeah. So, is there anything else in the news?
Yes. Spotify pays $10 billion to music industry as debate over royalties continues.
Oh wait, say that one more time.
Spotify says it paid $10 billion in royalties last year amid artist criticism.
Got you. Is there anything more to say on that?
Yes, artists earning at least $100,000 recorded music in more than 50 languages, while those earning over $1 million recorded in 17 languages. Despite payouts, more than half of the 225,000 recording acts on Spotify do not earn enough to make a living, according to Spotify.
Interesting. Very interesting. What are your thoughts on that?
It's an outrage. I
Yeah, got
understand that money has to be made, but how it's being made and how much people get out of it, that's what I have an issue with. The artists on these music platforms are not getting the fair earned share that they are being paid for the music they put out.
sorry. Like if someone was telling you that someone was telling you that someone was doing an outside like Boulevard Theater, something like that.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay.
I'm actually in that. I'm actually in Manhattan. So it's like I just saw a guy like walking with a camera in his face, and I'm like, what was that? What was going on there?
Ah,
But
I see.
but yeah, I agree. Like that's definitely like an outrage, and yeah. I hope it gets fixed eventually.
Yeah, it'll be a while, but time will tell.
Yeah, how long do you think it would? How long a while do you think?
Give it 5, 10 years.
Okay, yeah, that's not too bad. Yeah, probably fine. Yeah, hey, it'll get fixed regardless. Whether they do they do something about it or anyone else does something about it. But hey, regardless, it'll get fixed. But what else in the news?
COVID pandemic likely unleashed by lab mishap. Germany's BND reports.
Okay, didn't we know that already?
Yeah, but apparently there's information that we're yet to find out.
I mean, like, we kind of suspected that it was. Well, I mean, at first we blamed China. Then,
Well, yes. However,
then
from what I've heard from one of my podcast guests, it could be said otherwise. Like one of the guests I had for my podcast, she said that one of her children actually got COVID before COVID even went mainstream in 2020.
really?
Yeah,
So it was a thing before it even was a thing.
exactly. I have no idea, but that's what she said. But at least
So
when COVID
okay, fine.
dropped, at least the guest's children were more than prepared when it came around in the US.
Was this like in 2019, like late 2019 when the year was about to end, or like early
If
2020
this was,
before?
I think it was a year or two, maybe 3 years before the end of the 2010s.
Ah, before the end of 2010.
The 2010s, like close to
Oh,
2020.
2010s, my bad. Gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay. Wow, that's crazy.
it's wild, yes.
Speaking of which, do you still have podcast guests?
Well, as of this recording, I haven't gotten a guest in like a couple months, but I think it comes to a point now, I might consider bringing on guests again. The thing is, the reason I'm not getting guests now is because, A, I don't want to stress myself trying to get on guests because I don't have any guests lined up. And secondly, I enjoy more of these episodes than I do with guests. Not to say I don't want to bring on guests, but episodes like this is something I enjoy putting out.
Man, I understand. I mean, hey, I mean, I understand. I enjoy this as well. I mean, like, even on certain days when I don't even feel like, coming on, I still find a way to enjoy it. And, and, okay. Like, yeah, like, you're absolutely right, though. It's like, it comes to a point where it's like you don't really feel like stressing yourself out very much. I I'd say it's still good to do. Just like obviously, just don't stress yourself out about it. 'Cause like I remember there were times where you're like a guest like when you would have a guest in a couple of minutes and then they would cancel at the last.
Yes, I remember those days.
I'm not gonna lie, it's funny now, but like it's definitely annoying because like I had to deal with that as well, and
Yep.
it's definitely annoying. So you know, I mean, but I mean if they do it no, the first or second time is passable. I'll let it slide a bit, but if you keep doing it, then I'm just gonna be like, look, I'm not inviting you anymore. Like we're done. Stop scheduling.
Yeah, exactly.
I wouldn't say those exact words, but I'm gonna be like, look, you clearly seem busy. Let's just not do this.
It has
I
to
would,
be done. It has to be said.
yeah, yeah, exactly. I mean, like it just comes to a point where it's like you just had enough, and you don't want to keep like prolonging this, and prolonging this no matter even if the guest is like has a following too. You don't want to keep prolonging it for a long time because like at the end of the day, it's like it just gets annoying.
Yeah.
But like for the most part, um, as for the COVID thing, wow, I didn't even. No one knew it was a thing. Like, bro, no one knew it was a thing. Like, how?
Yeah, that's still a mystery to this day.
Is she sure that it wasn't a flu or anything? Like, or the flu?
Well, that's what she thought when one of her children had it, but turns out when the time came about in 2020, she realized, oh, I've seen this before. Yeah, I remember this, and yeah, I think that's what came to a head at the
Oh,
time.
the real question is, how did she get it? Like, I mean, we blamed China once again, but it's like clearly it was U.S. Clearly it had something to do with the U.S. or something. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I don't really know for certain. It had to have something to do with the U.S. though.
Well, like many accidents, something gets out, attaches to something or someone, it goes through a bit of a process, and then it just goes away, like nothing ever happened.
Yeah, that's true. That's a true statement right there. For the most part, right? Well, I mean, nothing's happening right now, so I mean, hey, we're not halfway in the year, but we're getting there. We're almost on the fourth month already. This year's gonna be over as soon as like this year's gonna be over just like in the snap of your fingers, man. This year,
Yes,
it seems like the older you get, the more the years
the
go by.
faster time moves.
It's kind of sad, actually.
It is, yeah.
But what are you really gonna do about it?
Well,
I
make
mean, what
of what time you have left.
still? Why does it feel like time is more slower when you're young? I don't know. Maybe because we're more distracted. We don't have to we didn't have to worry about the real world.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah, but hey, that's life.
Indeed.
All right. So what else in the news?
Kenya HIV patients live in fear as USAID freeze stands drugs in warehouse.
Is there more in this story?
The health clinic where Alice Okwiri collects her HIV medication in Kenya's capital, Nairobi, has been rationing supplies of antiretrovirals to 1 month refill since the US government froze foreign aid.
Oh, wow. What are your thoughts?
Like many things when discussing topics like this, it's still a grey area. Not that I'm defending like not giving people the healthcare they need, we have to ask the question, why are foreign countries relying on the US for a lot of things? Wouldn't it be more financially sufficient and efficient to provide countries with the facilities to do it themselves?
It would be, but for some reason we don't do that. For some reason they don't do that, and we don't do that for some odd reason, even though we could. We're supposed to be the big dogs.
Yes, but the thing
Supposed
is,
to.
if they don't have the influence and the power over these foreign nations, well, how can people say they are the big dogs?
That's true. I mean, like, at this point, we're not even the. I don't think we're even the dog anymore. It's like
Just a
we're the
pup.
cat. Yeah, we're the. I was gonna say cat, but like, yeah, no, pups is better. We're the pups.
Yes,
We're the newborn pups. We're not even the big dogs anymore, or we're not even the big dog anymore. But hey, what are you really gonna do about it? I mean, like, we know what we need to do. They know what they need to do, but
yeah,
they don't do it.
they don't.
But it is what it is.
And it was what it was.
Exactly. Is there anything else in the news?
Climate activists protest at top global energy gathering.
We've been talking about global activists a lot lately.
Yes, we have. Protesters gathered on Monday outside the world's largest annual meeting of energy executives, where the US Energy Secretary, Chris Wright, said that climate change was a side effect of building the modern world.
Building the modern world, huh? What is the
Yep,
modern world gonna look like?
well, mostly urban.
The most part, the modern world. I feel like everything's still gonna look the same. Just like there's gonna be a slight bit change, but everything is gonna pretty much look the same. You know, I don't know
Yeah,
why. It just seems. I mean, shoot. I mean, in the 1960s, like I'm pretty sure there were adults who thought that we were gonna have flying cars in this day and age, but we're still on the ground.
indeed.
Yeah, we're still on the ground. So I mean, not there yet. It's probably gonna be 2050. It's probably gonna be somewhere in 2050 or 21,000.
1,000. That's quite
Yeah,
a long while.
we'll be dead by then.
Yes,
Yeah, we'll pretty much be dead by then. But yeah, 21,000. I mean, like, shoot. I mean, if we're lucky, 2030. But let's just go out of. I'm gonna go out of a limb and say 21,000. I'm giving them to do it.
that's a lot of time.
It is, and they better do it even when I'm dead. I mean, shoot, I won't be here anyways to enjoy it.
Enjoy it while it lasts.
Yeah, pretty much. So, but is there anything else on the news?
NASA shuts down key sites and DEI offices under Trump administration orders.
Wait, someone shut down a fight under Trump administration orders?
Yes, NASA's acting administrator, Janet Petro, closures of 3 offices affecting 23 employees in an email dated March 10th.
Interesting. Interesting. I'll say this. I mean, it's good that they shut down a fight. For what cost?
Yeah,
But in all seriousness, I mean, what is in the Trump administration? I really don't.
well, it's a continuation from the previous Trump administration, except Trump knows what he's in for, and of course he knows what to do and what not to do, and many of the cautions that comes with the job. And of course, another difference is that he now has the freedom to choose whatever people he wants in his cabinet. In the first administration, he only had to choose people that were mostly either in line or have great support from the general Republican Party. Because during his first term as President of the United States, many people thought that Donald Trump would not have won, but yet he did.
And people like this time around, people pretty much expected him to win because a lot of people do like Trump. He has the experience. And I don't think a lot of people completely trust him. It was kind of a no-brainer. It was a no-brainer. Pretty much who was going to win. If you really
Yeah,
think about it, it was a no-brainer on who was actually going to win this race.
so
I'm not
true.
going to say that. I'm not going to say that the right man won. I don't even know if he is the right. I know Kamala. I know Kamala is not the right. Is not the right woman or the right person. I mean, they're both corrupt. They're both controlled opposition. So who cares who won?
Yeah.
And it's like I said before, the real patriots are the real patriots who truly care about this country are the people who are not like highlighted in the news. See, there are people who are yeah, I say like the people they're the candidates who ran for president who were not highlighted in the news, who are not seen as much as Trump and Kamala. I say they're the real patriots because they actually care. But I don't think they really get the game. I don't really think they get this whole game.
No, they don't.
You have to be part of a specific club. You have to be part of the club. You have to either be a Freemason, a political Freemason, or a Satanist, or just I don't know. You have to be something. I do not know completely what it is, but I'm pretty sure those are the two. Those are the two main things you have to be. Although you can be a Satanist for free, as most people who are Satanists are literally doing that for free because they just reject the idea of a higher power and God. But yeah, it's like you have to either be a Freemason or just like a Satanist. But I say, what's the difference? Or I don't know, probably just extremely rich, or and like no, or yeah, or just know the right connections really. Like have the right connections and be rich, or just the connections part. Doesn't matter. Either way, if you have your foot in the door, you can go far as long as you're smart, witty, and convincing, and you can convince a crowd. Kamala was not that smart. No offense. I'm pretty sure she has knowledge on other things, but like politics was not her strong suit. She wasn't necessarily that witty, and yeah, she wasn't a go getter. And I'm not gonna lie, I feel like Tim. Hold on. I feel like Tim Walz would have been a better candidate. I mean, don't get me wrong, I
Yeah.
wouldn't have voted for the guy, but he would have been better.
Yeah, I think with Tim Walz being the presidential candidate, I think the Democrats would have gotten a better results than what they've actually gotten.
Yeah, because I don't know. At least at least the Tim Walz can talk. At least he sounds like confident in what he believes in. But yeah, no, I
Yes.
believe like, but I'm not gonna lie. Imagine being a two-time vice president.
Yeah, that'd be
imagine not,
crazy.
imagine not being trusted by your own party so much that they had someone run over you. They had a completely new person who was new to politics, who was new to the whole political world, run over you. Really,
Yeah.
that would have been kind of funny actually.
Yeah.
Sad, but funny.
Yeah. Mostly funny.
I mean, imagine having all that experience doing nothing, just have another guy run over you.
Yeah.
Hey, it honestly is what it is, man. I don't know. Kamala tried her best. He did, but I didn't really vote for any of them, so I really don't care who won. But
Exactly.
I'll give her that. She definitely tried her best, but ultimately, her best wasn't the best. So, hey, I'm just wondering who's going to be the next president in the next 4 years. And if it's Trump again, man, like I don't hate the guy, but I want to see something new.
Yes.
That does, that doesn't mean I'm going to vote, but I want to see something new.
I agree.
But yeah, is there anything else on the news?
Yes. This is a big one.
Wait, he's a what?
Captain arrested in UK ship crash is Russian national.
A Russian national.
Yep.
What was he doing? What was he doing there?
A
Like, was he?
cargo ship named Solong collided with an oil tanker called Stena Immaculate off the coast of England, creating a significant fire and leading to one crew member missing, according to British authorities.
Huh, interesting. Oh, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think I talked about this with my dad like a day or two ago on BBC News. Yeah, it's absolutely wild how so many news outlets are talking about this explosion, and it is an explosion. I see the flames in one picture.
I mean, a lot of things can happen in this country. I mean, a lot of things are crazy now. So I mean, yeah, it's definitely something crazy. It's definitely something crazy, and something big to talk about. But for the most part, I just wonder what the guy was doing. Got you. Well, I hope they find what they're looking for in that investigation. That's all I can really say about that.
Yeah,
But is there anything else on the news?
indeed there is.
Wow, very unfortunate. I mean, how many people were
Somali security forces on Wednesday ended a 24-hour siege at a hotel in the central city of Beledweyne, leaving an unknown number of people dead, including all the Al-Shabaab militants who launched the attack, officials said.
I will say, like, God rest the souls of the people who died in that, and my prayers go out to their families and friends and other loved ones. And for the most part, that person needs to be killed. Those people need to be locked up. So
Yes, it's so
yeah,
unfortunate for lives like that to be lost.
yeah, it really is. You know, but for the most part, hopefully everybody plays it. Hopefully, But is there anything else in the news?
Education Department lays off gut its civil rights office, leaving discrimination cases in limbo.
What'd you say?
Education Department layoffs gut its civil rights office, leaving discrimination cases in limbo.
Yeah. Is there anything more in the story?
The Education Department's Office for Civil Rights is losing nearly half its staff, with about 240 layoffs affecting the office's ability to handle thousands of discrimination cases.
Interesting. I mean, I will say this. All those cases. Actually, I really don't really have much to say. I mean, for the most part, it's unfortunate that they're all left in limbo like that. And I hope they all get resolved. I hope they all get resolved eventually. That's really all I can say about that. What about you?
Well, I will say the United States Education Department had quite a good run for the time that it existed. And I think now, and whatever people might think of this, maybe the time for the existence of the education department at a federal level might need to come to a conclusion somehow. Because I think it should be down to the states how they handle their education. Because regarding the people per state in the US, they know what children in that state should learn and what should they be prepared for by the time they grow up and go off to the labor force and get whatever job they want to get. I want to know is if at a state level there likely will be experts in the education department at a state level. They know what is needed for children to understand for the real world. Why do we need a Department of Education at a federal level if the states could do whatever they want to do and still allow the freedom for people to choose where they want to get their education from?
That's a good point, actually. Why do we need it on a state and like a, you know, kind of, you said at a state level or a governmental level?
Both. Like there's the education Department of Education at the federal level, and then each of the states have their own Department of Education with their governors at the helms. Because the thing is, the
Ah,
United States is a federal nation, so rather than, well, whilst there's a federal level of governance, there's also state level governance. So there will be laws to follow depending on which state you're in.
sure, that's true. And hey, I'd say like if everyone can learn, and if everyone can learn and I'll say like get a good education. I say like it's a win-win. It's just a win-win in general. If everyone can like learn and get a great education, it's a win-win. So
Exactly.
you know, I mean, even if the state or the government is not involved in any way, shape, or form, it's a win-win if like each kid learns like basic math, like, basic life stuff. Just math, how to read, how to write, all that stuff that they need to succeed in life. And also, not gonna lie, have you? I, I don't know about you, but I kind of realized something. It's like as a kid, you have all these dreams, you have all these aspirations, but like when you become an adult, you realize that you can't pursue some. you can't pursue certain things because like you're either not tall enough or just you know, generally speaking, um, you're just not good enough in some way, shape, or form. But I've been really thinking, I'm like, just because you can't do that aspect of that career path you want to do doesn't mean you can't do the career path. You just have to take on a different position. So your dream can kind of come true. So you're still living your dream even though you're not doing that initial thing that you want to do.
Indeed, yeah.
Yeah. I was kind of thinking about that for the past couple of days. Like it's just a thought. Hey, hopefully that does come to fruition and people can follow that. I feel like some do, some don't. But yeah, we're all different people at the end of the day, and we take in information however we take it in. And for the most part, I will say that it's life.
Indeed.
Uh, yeah, is there anything else in the news?
Only 7 countries worldwide met World Health Organization air quality standards last year.
Oh, okay. Who are the seven?
Let's just see. Only 7 countries: Australia, New Zealand, the Bahamas, Barbados, Grenada, Estonia, and Iceland met the World Health Organization's air quality standards in 2024. Chad and
Oh,
Bangladesh had the worst air quality, with pollution levels over 15 times higher than the World Health Organization's recommended limits.
oh wow. Only seven. Huh. I'll be
Yes,
honest. Was there like more like in 2023?
I haven't seen for anything regarding reports
Ah,
and records for 2023.
okay. So since we didn't see anything, let's just assume that there was more than seven in 2020. Well, in the years prior before 2024. Let's not even say just 2023. In the years prior before 2024, let's just assume that there was more. And,
Yeah,
yeah. Wow. That's yeah. That's something. Definitely something. And I hope there's more next year.
well, the thing is, I think there is a way to actually fix air quality standards. Now, I understand there are nations that don't have the money and facilities to tackle it now, but even if you don't have all of the money in the world to do whatever you want, I think at a community level, something still can be done. And it can be done right now.
Yeah. No, I 100% agree that something can be done right now. And it should be done right now, but are they going to do it right now? Probably not, but probably not. But yeah, but yeah, that is my time. I do have to go.
Alright,
All right, so this is a great episode. And wait, hit the 40-minute mark. Okay.
cheerio.